Well, this is lesson 5 of our continuing series on how to trade futures and Forex. Again, we have the CFTC notice, and let's just talk a little bit about trading in a sense. Trading itself is a skill. It's very similar to skiing or swimming or playing golf or ping pong or tennis or anything else. It requires spaced repetition, it requires study, it requires just about all the normal things you'd get from shooting or archery or any other skill in the sport. The difference is you're using your finger on a mouse button to take a trade. Now, the one thing important about this, if one person can learn to trade, so can you. There are a lot of studies on this in neurolinguistic programming, all types of things. You simply need to model yourself after what other people do. I always say that the best trader's not yet been born. I have a trader who was trading 1,000 contracts at a time in Australia 3 or 4 times a day. I also have a trader that's generated over 112 points in one day on the E-mini, 332 in a couple of weeks. So, it's possible to make a lot, especially when that person said, gee, I don't know if I'll ever be able to make 2 points in a day. The important thing here is you don't compare yourself to others, that you stay in the mode of learning the skill. You've got to dedicate yourself to trading. If you want to do this part-time or just think you're going to go out and play Tiger Woods on a golf course by playing 1 day a week, on the golf course yourself, you're kidding yourself. Don't even try to do that. I will tell you that trading is mostly boring. You're just kind of sitting there most of the time, and the secrets of trading are patience and discipline, and you're just waiting for a setup. It was also the same way when I was a nuclear submarine officer, that 90% of that 90-day run was totally boring, interspersed with 5 to 10 minutes of sheer terror. So don't worry about the fact that you're going to be bored a little bit here. You're going to take a lot of small losses, a lot of small wins, and then you're going to hit a couple of big wins, and that's going to make it for you. And you've got to ask yourself how you learned any skill, and go back and use that same technique with yourself. Everybody's different, but you'll find that that is a key way to learn how to trade. Now, some keys to learning a skill are: 1, proper education. Most traders lose because they're undereducated. They don't realize it is a lot more complex than it looks initially. Secondly is enough practice, and I should say practice, 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 practice. I continue to practice sometimes if I'm out of sync or I've been away from the market for a while. You've got to know yourself and know how you trade. I found out from my analysis in my trading journal that I was always early in and early out, and I needed to devise a system that would allow me to take that extra breath before I got in the market, and then to hang on longer. And it does take practice to do that. And if I could say anything, a lot of people are always buying new courses. They try one, doesn't work, try another one, doesn't work. I had a guy that had over 50 courses, still couldn't trade. Really, what you need to do is invest in yourself. You need to understand how you think, how your background has affected the way you think about money, about all kinds of different things. And so I would say invest in personal growth first. And there are a lot of great tapes out on all kinds of things. Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale is a great one. There are all kinds of different personal growth things, but learn how to figure out who the heck you are and how you work. My thing is to never stop learning. I'm 66 now. I read a couple books a week, not all on trading, on all kinds of different things. A lot of it on psychology and how my mind works. It's down to 3 IQ points right now, so I've got one on vacation, one thinking about fishing, golfing, or skiing, and the other than thinking about trading. And just realize this is a journey. Once you learn the skill, you've got it forever. If you ever rode a horse when you were young, you can get right back on one 10 years later. I started skiing again after a 43-year layoff because I lived in Hawaii. And it came almost back nearly as fast as if I'd never stopped. Now, here are some of the great trading resources that you might think about. Van Tharp has a great game called the Trading Game. So look up Van K. Tharp Trading Game and then play that game. It'll help you a great deal with money management and how you think about trading. Mark Douglas is Trading in the Zone, of course. One I like a lot is The Psychology of Trading by Brent Steenbarger. And my secret to really learning how to trade was Dr. Alexander Elder, but later I found High Probability Trading by Marcel Link. Talks about if this happens, this is why it does and what you have to do to fix it. As you get better, you will eventually not even think when you trade. And Trading from Your Gut by Curtis Faith, one of the original Turtles, is an excellent book. The other thing it'll help you trade is learn patience from fly fishing or golf or ping pong or, if all else fails, try wine. I've got a great little metal thing on the refrigerator by Albert Weinstein, looking like Albert Einstein. So I had too much wine. Anyway, it says, drink a few glasses and become a genius. Sometimes that helps a lot, okay? And things that have helped me are meditation and self-hypnosis. I studied Aikido for about 35 years, and the breathing and meditation in that really will help you calm down. I used it when I started rough water swimming. I use it when I trade. The other thing about learning to trade is you need to use successful patterns in the trade. And in order to do that, you really need to learn one market at a time and learn only one pattern. Be patient and disciplined about it, and then become successful with that one pattern before you expand. Too many people try to trade too many markets too often, and that's one of the biggest reasons they fail. The other thing is what you're doing here is trying to learn to compare the price with the right indicators, which we think we've found the right indicators, and then diversify the markets you're trading later. Now, here are the patterns that we teach. This is pretty simple, all right? Actually, we had a failure to take out the high here, and we had one of our arrows, which is signal 1. We've covered this in our previous videos. We then get a indication signal when the short-term indicator crosses its moving average. These again are not MACDs. They're a special triple derivative indicator that shows perfect divergences and shows you pretty much the right-on signal. It doesn't lag. In this point, you go short at 1356 and you get out 1342. Now that's 14 points. That's an incredible 3,000% return on your risk, 300% on your margin. The other thing is we had this low that came down here, and we had a turn and got us 9 points on the first move. So learning these patterns, this is all you have to do, learning the price versus the indicator. All right? As you get better, you'll probably start to take these turns when the color changes and not wait for the crossing of the moving average. So our next little mini lesson is going to be on pulling a trigger.